Well, here we are back out on the creek. As you can see, there's a bunch of ice on it. We do have some open water. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get into any gold today, but we're going to try. Nice day for a hike. It's about 31 degrees. It's going to fall throughout the day, but not terribly fast. So it'll probably stay up around 30, maybe a little lower, which ain't too bad. So we got the new XP pan with us and shovel and classifier. Let's just take a little hike out in nature. What more can you ask for? We'll do a few test pans here and there. I brought a little crevice tool just in case. So let's get to it, go for a little walk, and maybe find some gold. Well, I made it up to this little area that I've been thinking about working on my way up through here. So I don't know if you can tell, there's bedrock exposed on the bottom here, and you might recognize this sharp little corner from before. I dug down in there before, and I took some sample pans in here in a previous video. And actually, let me walk down here a little bit. This ice is kind of iffy. It wants to break off, but I think there's gravel under us. We're okay. But right down in here, I actually dredged one time. I brought my 3-inch dredge up here, and I got a little bit of gold out of there with a buddy. And right over here, remember there was those great big cobbles in here, almost boulder size in here. We kind of worked around that. We never came back up and worked around them in the summertime like we planned, but we're up here now. We ain't gonna be working around those boulders. I'm gonna concentrate up here on this bedrock, I think. Walk around this soft spot. I was thinking maybe a little bit of material behind the bedrock here. See, the bedrock is right there, and there's a hunk of it right there. But that material out of there possibly. And we walk back up here. It almost looks like the bedrock gets really fractured right here. We do have a crack running with the current there. They're not always the best, but sometimes they are. But this material in here you can see hanging on. Maybe there's a void in the bedrock right there. Maybe we can get some material out of there. And over on that edge, I remember under that ice over there, it looked like kind of a break in the bedrock in there. Maybe in there. So anyway, let's poke around in here and take a few pans, see if we find any gold. If we don't, that's okay, because it's just nice being out here. Alright, let's get to work. I took a pan right in here. The bedrock was very shallow, no gold. Then if you look right here, the bedrock kind of goes up that way, and the flow is this way. You see these bigger rocks piled in here. So I took a shovel right behind that rock right there. I might be down the bedrock again behind it. I got a pan full right there. I was going to pan it out, but I got to put my Mitch Bittens on. That water is cold. I was hoping I wouldn't have to wear my gloves and do this, but that water is cold. Let's get our gloves on and pan that out. No gold. Second pan, no gold. There's my tailings. But yeah, it's just not deep enough here to capture anything. There's just too much flow when the water's high in here to capture any gold. So I say we walk upstream. There's that other bedrock area upstream. Maybe we can poke around in there a little bit. Maybe not, but it's a good day to do it. So let's head upstream and try to work on that little spot up there maybe. Those deer have been having a hell of a good time down in here. Look at all the tracks. They weren't down in here feeding. They're down in here playing. Having a good old time. There's nothing down here for them to eat, so that's how we know they were just down in here playing. Look at all the tracks all over the place. That's good to see. They're out here enjoying. Alright. I have worked this bank over here on the far side of the creek before. I have pulled a little bit of gold out of there, but it's really, really hit and miss. do 20 pans to find one little speck. So that's not always what we're looking for. We take a pan from there. Well, we might on the way back down. You never know. But we're just going to keep on walking up the creek, having fun, enjoying nature, just like these deer did. Good times, having fun. And a little bit of safety. Let's talk about safety. Of course, I probably don't need to because a lot of you folks already know, but for those who don't, you gotta be very careful walking on ice that's over or on moving water. Any body of water that tends to be flowing, don't walk on the ice unless you know that piece of water in the water isn't too deep underneath the ice. Because we all know what could happen. You fall through the ice, you get swept underneath it to a thicker part of ice where you just can't break up and you can't get back upstream to get out. So just be safe. That doesn't even pertain just to creeks or rivers. Even reservoirs and some ponds have springs that feed it all year, and it makes soft spots in the ice. And reservoirs, the main channel will still have current throughout the length of the reservoir. So just be careful walking on ice on bodies of water that you're not particularly sure about. Now, this creek I know very well, and I know how to read the creek accordingly to know where the deep water would be. I've been on the creeks my whole life, so I pretty much know where I can and can't walk. But for those of you that are new to winter prospecting, if you ever will be, just be very careful. We don't want you to die out there, and it's so easy to do. All right, we made it back up to that bedrock spot I was talking about. You might recognize where we are. I've worked down here a little bit before, cleaned off some bedrock over there. I think we might do that again, just take a few pans out of there, see what happens. But Camp Frozen Toes is right over there. If you go up around the creek here and all the way up there, Camp Frozen Toes is, I don't know, 300 yards up that way. Just to give you an idea where we are. Still a beautiful day though. Nice and quiet except for the creek. The creek sounds beautiful. Alright. Let's take a couple pans from in here and see what it says. It might end up being a no gold day. I took 3 pans from over there. No gold. Very tiny bit of black sand, so I came over in here. Some of these exposed gravels underwater there. No gold. Very tiny bit of black sand. Still a nice day. We'll keep walking up. Maybe our old faithful spot will give up a flake or two. Let's go see. The beavers are trying to make a dam hunt down here too. You can see it goes out around there. Little pool they made, but it looks like it washed out on this side. See the bare sticks there. They've been doing, I think they tried to build a little shelter in here. You can see it there, but it must be they gave up after this blew out. Pretty tough for them to make a dam in the main creek like this. The levels fluctuate so much, especially in the past few years. But you can see over there, maybe I can zoom in, they've been chewing the little sticks off there. And that's what they feed on. They eat the bark off those things, and that's how you end up with these bare little sticks like that one there. These that are down underwater, that's all beaver chewings. That's all from the beavers there. They'll store that stuff up throughout the summer and fall, and then in the wintertime they eat that stuff. That group of sticks might be natural from the bank washing out and the flooding, or they could have piled them there, but typically they'll make a pile of branches underwater and they'll leave their shelter and go out and grab them and eat them in the wintertime. It sustains them throughout the winter and through the cold months until they can get back out in the spring and find some fresh food. Pretty cool though. Now here, you can see right over there is that bundle of sticks they've been chewing on. And a little pool on the beaver dam right there. You can see where they've been walking up in here. Let me show you these beaver tracks. And they're pretty weird looking tracks. They almost look like an alien or something. You can't really see those too good, I guess, but beaver tracks are kind of different. Well, we might be in luck in this spot. If you recognize where we are, Camp Frozen Toes is right up there. But this is that spot where we're picking the gold out of before. Let me back up here a little bit. And that black sand was running right up over the bank right here, and we're picking gold out of it. But if you remember, right down in there, we got a couple bigger pieces out of there. They weren't pickers, but they were a little bit bigger pieces. So I got some ice broke out of there. Let's take a couple pans in there just to try to find some gold today. Beautiful day. Starting to spit a little bit of snow. It's dropped a couple of degrees, but it's still beautiful. All right. Okay, took one pan, nothing. It was right off the top. But starting to get into some good material. Let me show you this. That brown clay. Yeah, that's the good stuff. It's underneath this big old honking rock right here. I can barely budge it with my shovel. Let me try to, I'll get these other rocks out from around it so they don't fall down the hole. Try to get that baby out of there and see what's down underneath it. Good material under there, so let's see if there's any gold. All right, starting to snow a little more. I got that rock out of there. You can see how brown the water is. That's looking good. Let me put my foot on this rock, show you how big it is. That's a good sized rock. Down in there in that clay underneath it. Let me show you what the clay looks like. A little more amount of it to show you. See that? Ooey gooey. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Oh yeah. Let's pan that out and see what's in it. 3 pans out of that spot. That ooey gooey goodness turned out to be ooey gooey nothing. You'll have that though. So I came back up here where we were getting gold before. I was actually able to get some material up out of there. Kind of loose. Might be able to wash that stuff up a little bit. Maybe pick a piece of gold out of there. We know there's a lot more black sand up in here, so let's give it a try. Gotta find some gold before we leave, right? Right. Okay, I almost gave up, but on the 4th pan, we finally got something. A little tiny flake right here. Let me show it to you. Right there. See that? A little flake right there. I can see it with no problem. Jason was right about these blue pans. That gold sticks right out like a sore thumb. I like that. Be able to show you guys that fine gold from now on, hopefully. Alright, we're going to take another pan, see if we can find another piece of gold. Having fun. Zoom out. Okay, I took one more pan out of there, no gold, but you know what, I'm okay with that. We got out and we found a little flake of gold, a little teeny tiny flake, but hey, it's still gold and it was fun. It's fun just being out, so let's do that. Let's just be out. Might walk up to that beaver dam and have a little look at it. It's up there a little ways, see how they're doing, and just slowly make our way out of here. Maybe take a test pan or two, maybe not. It's a good day either way. Alright. Well, here's the old beaver pond. I'm standing on the dam of it right now, the dike of it. You can see their hut right over there. Right there's their hut. It's been here for as long as I can remember. I do see a few tracks. Doesn't look like they've been out very much though. Pretty little spot. Look at the little seeds on this black birch. They're actually a purple. I've never seen them like that before. Pretty. That's a pretty color right there. Natural purple. Little black birch. Pretty cool. Okay folks, time to end this video. We're right back down to civilization, so time to go home. Had fun. Seen a whole bunch of animal tracks and got to be out in nature and found one little flake of gold. Good times. Alright. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next time. We'll do something, not sure what, but we'll do something. And until then, and as always, have fun. Okay, one more thing. There's that beaver track, right? A couple of them there. We'll look right over here. What's this? It's a beaver tail. Ha ha ha. For those of you that know, it's a beaver tail. Haha, funny.